Tonight, when the sun goes down, you're gonna flip a switch. Light will flood the room and you won't think twice about it. But for 99.9% of human history, that switch didn't exist. When the sun set, the world went dark. And that darkness could kill you. You still feel it, that tightness in your chest when you walk into a black room, that urge to check the corners before you relax. You tell yourself it's silly, there's nothing there. But the real answer is far stranger than silly. Your fear of the dark isn't a glitch. It's a message from 100,000 years ago, and it still runs your body every single night. Start with your eyes. Human night vision is bad. Not slightly bad, catastrophically bad compared to almost every predator that ever hunted you. A cat sees roughly 6 times better than you in low light. An owl can spot a mouse under starlight alone. You stumble into furniture with a nightlight on. Why would evolution leave you this exposed?
Because for most of your species' history, you weren't the one doing the hunting after dark. You were the one being hunted. Anthropologist Donna Hart spent years studying predation on early hominids, and her research is unsettling. Leopards, hyenas, and large cats regularly killed and ate early humans and their ancestors. Fossil evidence backs this up. Bite marks on skulls, puncture wounds that match big cat teeth, bones dragged into trees the way leopards store their kills today. Your ancestors weren't at the top of the food chain. They were a snack. And snacks that survived were the ones who feared the right things at the right times.
Here's where it gets interesting. Fear isn't randomly distributed across all possible dangers. It's shaped by what actually killed your ancestors, generation after generation for millions of years. A fear that kept you alive got passed down. A fear that didn't cost you anything got passed down too, just in case. This is called an evolved fear module, and psychologist Arne Oman has spent decades mapping it. Oman's experiments showed that humans learn to fear snakes and spiders faster than they learn to fear objectively more dangerous things, like cars or electrical outlets. Why? Because cars haven't been around long enough for evolution to build in a warning system. Snakes have.
Darkness works the same way. It's not the dark itself that's dangerous, it's what darkness does to your senses. It strips away your best warning system, your vision, and leaves you reliant on hearing and instinct alone. For a creature that evolved as prey as much as predator, that's terrifying. Not because darkness hides monsters, because darkness hides everything. Think about what your brain actually does the moment the lights go out. It doesn't calm down, it ramps up. Your pupils dilate, your heart rate shifts, your amygdala, the almond-shaped alarm system buried in your brain, goes on high alert. This isn't a modern overreaction. This is 50,000 generations of nighttime survival compressed into a few seconds of biology.
There's a reason children go through a nearly universal phase of fearing the dark, usually between the ages of 2 and 6. Psychologist David Bjorklund has proposed that many childhood fears aren't developmental mistakes. They're evolutionary leftovers, appearing exactly at the age when a young hominin would have first been mobile enough to wander from the safety of a fire or a group, and vulnerable enough to be killed for it. A toddler afraid of the dark isn't broken. A toddler unafraid of the dark hundreds of thousands of years ago might not have made it to adulthood. So what did ancient humans actually do about this? They didn't fight the fear. They built systems around it.
Fire changed everything. Anthropologists point to control of fire dating back at least 1 million years based on evidence from sites like Wonderwork Cave in South Africa as one of the most significant turning points in human survival. Fire didn't just provide warmth, it provided light, and light meant early warning. A predator circling just outside a fire's glow could be seen or at least heard reacting to the light. Groups didn't sleep in silence either. Research on hunter-gatherer societies, including work by anthropologist Polly Wiesner studying the Juhawansi people of the Kalahari, shows that firelight conversation at night served a different social function than daytime talk. It built trust, it reinforced group bonds, it kept people close together when they were at their most vulnerable.
This is the part almost nobody notices. Nighttime fear didn't just make individuals more cautious, it made groups more cohesive. Fear of the dark is, in a strange way, one of the reasons humans became such deeply social animals. You needed each other most exactly when you could see each other least. Now, here's the twist. You don't live in that world anymore. You have electricity. You have locks and windows and phones with flashlights built in. Statistically, in most modern environments, walking through a dark room is one of the safest things you will do all day. Nothing is hunting you. And yet, the fear hasn't updated. Why would it? Evolution doesn't work on a software patch cycle. It works across thousands of years, and electric light has existed for less than 200 of them. Your amygdala doesn't know what a light bulb is. It only knows what darkness used to mean. This is why so many adults, otherwise completely rational people, still feel a flicker of unease walking down into a dark basement. It's why horror movies almost universally use darkness and reduced visibility as their primary tool, long before any monster appears on screen. Director and psychology researchers studying fear in media have repeatedly found that anticipation in darkness activates more anxiety than the reveal itself. The dark is scarier than the monster because the dark is where your ancestors' actual predators lived. The monster is just modern set dressing on an ancient alarm.
Consider what this means about you right now, today. That moment of hesitation before you walk into an unlit room isn't weakness. It isn't a character flaw. It's a direct transmission from every ancestor who survived long enough to have you exist. Millions of years of leopards and starless nights and half-heard sounds in tall grass distilled into one small flicker of unease before your hand finds the light switch. You are not afraid of the dark because you're irrational. You are afraid of the dark because for almost the entirety of human history, being afraid of the dark was one of the smartest things a human could be. And tonight, when the sun goes down, you'll flip a switch without thinking. Light will flood the room. But somewhere underneath that easy modern comfort, a much older part of you will still be listening for what might be waiting just past the edge of the light.